should be good now.
Hey, Jane, if you hit your red buttons there.
I got two, one on either side of me.
Well, here you good.
One side on. Okay. Yes, please.
Boudry.
Boudry.
Here.
Here.
Here. Stiggerwall. Here. Okay, none.
Yes.
Okay. Next item on our agenda is to review and approve the agenda.
Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is to review and consider the approval of the Special Zoning Board Appeals minutes from December 11th, 2025.
Chair, I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the public hearing for a dimensional variance from section 4.18, schedule of area, height, and placement regulations, 42-180 Harris Road.
Chair, I'll make a motion to open the public hearing. And Joe, I know you said you think you could get the application, that way we could at least see the details on the application.
Yeah, I can go run and get that real quick.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, public hearing is open. Do you want us to wait until you go get that before we let them talk?
You can have the applicant just
Okay.
go and discuss, and while I'm gonna go get it, and
Okay.
then I'll pass it around.
Okay. The applicant, would you like to go to the podium and tell us who you are and where you live and for the minutes?
Hello, my name is Carl Pierce. I currently live at 5626 Bemis Road with the Majeski family. So my variance here today, I'm currently working on behalf of Deborah Majeski. She is the property owner of 42180 Harris Road, which is my grandmother-in-law, my wife and my wife's grandma. And so a year back, Grandma came to my wife and I to possibly talk about building on the family land that is located on this property of 10.81 acres. We have continued to look into the process, obviously going into the Sumpter Township's code, making sure we do it all in the proper way. This all started when my wife's grandpa was still here with us. Unfortunately, he left us last May due to cancer, and so this is something we want to continue on with possibly creating a second piece of land from this plot of land in order for my wife and I to build on there. One of the main reasonings would be, one, to help out with Grandma on the property. It being 10 acres of a working farm, my wife and I want to be there to continue to help and support that farm, as it was recently recognized by the Historical Society of Michigan as a Michigan Centennial Farm as well. That also being the reasoning for our variance today. We ask for a lesser variance. We know that the minimum lot within a small rural farm district is 1 acre. We're asking for 0.8 in order to keep the main plot intact of 10 acres, which is one of the restrictions or the standards for it to be a centennial farm. Another reason is obviously to keep the farm within the land. As I just mentioned, it's a centennial farm, so it's been in the family for over 100 years. And so, if we can keep that, the primary plot within that 10 acres, we hope to continue it on for a long family legacy.
Okay. So does any of our board members have any questions? I do not. Joe, did they provide us the documentation about being a centennial farm?
Where did that happen?
If I did not provide that, we do have it here today. If you guys would like to take a look at that as well.
Yeah, I think we should
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
enter it into the record, you know, for the application.
Do you guys need to see this?
No, we can just make a copy for the record, that's all. Congratulations. Or if you want to give that to Sheena, if she can make a copy for us. Sheena, if you could make a copy, I'd appreciate it, thank you. Just for the file.
Just for the file.
Yeah, just for the
Right.
main application.
But yes, I have spoken with Joe a good amount in regards to the planning behind this. From what I've understood of both of our viewpoints, it seems feasible, it seems possible to do. Obviously, we're just taking the step to get the township's approval in order to get this variance approved. A few additional things from that is in regards to the economic impact for the Sumpter Township. My wife and I, myself being a facility manager of a sports complex, my wife being a nurse, also looking to become a nurse practitioner, both look to bring different things to the community. My wife again pursuing the medical side, as well as we don't, in regards to other impact assessments to the community, we don't plan on changing much of the word I'm looking for. What I was trying to say is we want to try and keep it to the property to remain consistent with the other surroundings around us, given that it's a small rural farm area. Again, we want to keep it a working farm, and so that's one of the main reasons we would like to add this property on there in order to keep that, but also to keep the integrity of the local area. So.
Joe, did I read, is the variance is to have it 130 frontage, but a .8 acres total?
Yes, so,
It'd be 120 feet
yes.
and .8 acres.
Okay, because when I thought I just read that in the second to the last page, that's why I was looking at the application, I thought it said 130 feet, .8 acres.
My apologies, that is a typo. It would be 120 feet. Yep.
It's 120.
Yes, and in regard, I have mentioned the 0.8 acres. In regards to the 120, in the width of the plot, we would need that primarily because of a pump house that would sit at the 150-foot mark in regards to the width requirement that Sumpter Township asked for.
Okay.
And to clarify, that pump house, it's not the barn that's farther back, right? It's-
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. There are, is it 3 or 4 other barns located on the property, Graham? 3. Yeah. So there are 3 other barns located on the property, but it is the pump house that would sit at that 150 feet wide mark. That.
Okay. Any questions for him? Okay. Any other audience members want to speak, or are they making you do all the talking?
I think you do a fantastic. So
Grandma, would you like
Yeah.
to say anything?
Okay.
Sure, I do have a question.
Okay.
So at the 130 mark,
Yes.
because Joe, you marked it in here too, where does that put it in relation to the barn?
130 mark in relation to the barn.
Yeah, for
I
the
don't believe
setback.
it's any issue with the barn. The only thing that we do face is the pump house. I know that you guys have setbacks in regards to 10 feet off the property line, and so working with Joe, we kind of stuck between that 120, 130 foot mark. We didn't have exact dimensions in regards to that. We haven't necessarily done
Survey and all
a
that.
survey
Yeah.
yet.
So it's
We
way-
wanted to go through this process first before we continued on with
I
that.
know the Red Lobsters.
The reason I asked is because, the next thing that comes up, which we just went through, is when you vary from the 150, you end up with not being able to put the house on the property with the proper setbacks. You want to have attached garages and things like that. You end up having to either come for another variance for the setbacks on the house, or you have to change the the layout of your house to fit that. And that's
Gotcha.
why we.
So at the moment, we have looked at, obviously building the houses on there. The ones we've currently looked at, I think they've been around 70 feet wide, so not too bad. I believe it still would meet that 20 feet setbacks on the side yards that you guys require, as well as we would still be able to meet the 50-foot setback in the front yard as well as the backyard. So.
Okay.
Just so the board is aware, rough calculations show at 130-foot lot width, the barn is still over 60 feet from that property line, if that's the width we go. So if it's actually 120 feet, it'd be 70 feet from the lot line.
Okay.
Can you check from the pump house, or do you got an estimate from the pump house? Just so
Yeah,
we
the
know?
pump house would be,
The length of the property obviously would be expanded.
Yeah,
I would assume.
the
Or no,
pump-
actually would be come in. If you made it a little bit wider, it would come away from the pump
Mhm.
house.
the pump house would be around 15 feet, which for that size of a building, it's 10 feet.
Yeah.
Or as shown on the plot plan, it'd be 21 feet.
Yeah. Is that 45,000 square feet? Is it 45,280?
For an acre?
Yeah.
I can never remember.
Isn't it 42?
1 acre is 43,560.
43, not even close on my estimate then. So it's 30, so we have to keep it below 34,848 to keep the Centennial Farm, right? But we gotta maintain that for sure. So that would be, if it went to 130, it'd be 268 deep. Is that what you calculate?
If it was 130,
Yeah. What does that put in relation to the pump house? Is that something that would be feasible for you, like a 130 by 268 with the pump house? I'm just trying to get us closer to that 150, because the more we restrict it down, the less you're gonna be able to do on the property.
As long as it would fit your guys' setback, I think that would be, more than manageable. As long as we can try and keep that around the
Yeah.
0.8 acres, yes, we're willing to work with that as well.
Yeah, there's no restriction going back.
Mhm.
There's no building.
So the pump house is the size of
It's
the
just on
barn.
the side.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
When I drove by, I seen a building, I thought I seen a building farther in the back, but it looked like it would have been way out of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deer.
I was trying to get around the postal trucks that seemed to be having a problem on the road.
Oh, yeah, that was today.
Yeah, right, I was trying to get around them to where I got here, so.
I did the same thing.
I think they just broke down, yeah, I think one of them was broke down and one came to transfer the mail or something, so.
Yeah, right at the property line.
Yeah. So, I don't think I have any more questions. I mean, 130 works for you. I mean, don't tell me it does if it really isn't what you want, I think it works better, overall for you when you go to put your house on there. If you wanna, have your garage in front instead of on the side.
Yep.
And things like that, so. I don't have more questions, Chair.
Okay. Joe, do you want to make any comments?
yeah, so I guess with every variance, board members, how we evaluate allowing such variances is through our criteria, which are outlined on page 3 of my report. That of which is if there's an exceptional or extraordinary circumstance applicable to the property that do not apply to other properties in the same zoning district or area. As we've already previously mentioned, this is a centennial farm, which not many properties in the rural small farm I believe have that status, so that is a very unique aspect that I believe would be a very unique circumstance to this property. The second criteria is whether or not the variance is necessary for the enjoyment of a property right that other property owners in the same zone or district have, and that would be applying for a land division. Any property owner in the township can apply for one, so this variance would be necessary to enjoy that right. The third criteria is whether or not the variance would become detrimental to the public health, safety, and welfare of the township, which we feel with a low intensity of the request, with such a large area surrounding with additional residential uses, we feel there wouldn't be any major public health and safety concerns if the variance was granted. Also, the final criteria is whether or not there would be an increased traffic or an increased danger of fire to the surrounding areas, we again feel would not be resulting from this project. The only thing we would recommend, should the board grant approval, is just that the new parcel size, one split, has received Wayne County approval for proposed septic, as there is no sanitary sewer out there, and that it should, the proposed split would result still as meeting the criteria of the Land Division Act, which I would confirm with the applicant once this variance is granted and they actually go and apply for it. Other than that, we would recommend just that conditional approval, just on Wayne County, and then still meeting the rest of the criteria of the Land Division Act and the zoning ordinance.
So by doing that, would they have to come back after they split the property and Wayne County said it was okay? Would they have to come back again for another variance, or would this take care of everything? Because I hate for them to have to come back and do this all over again.
Yeah.
Right.
This variance should
Right.
take care of it. It'll,
Okay.
I believe the board's agreed on 130 feet
Mhm.
of lot frontage.
Mhm.
So that 130 feet would stay there. They would then be required to fill out a building permit with the township, make sure through me and the building department that all setbacks are met, all building codes are being met. And if there was, for any other reason, a variance that would be needed, they would need to come back. But based on 130 feet and their plans that they've already explored, I would not anticipate them coming back.
Okay.
And you're sure the 130 doesn't get you into the pump house issue, or that it's not gonna be, you know?
I don't believe it should be an issue,
Okay.
no.
Yeah. Because we don't want you to have to come back. We really don't.
Now, as far as 100%, we don't know because we have, as far as the 130 or the 120, because we don't have that corner pin to measure the 130 off of that. And we didn't want to go through with paying for a survey to come out there
Sure.
to locate them corner stakes to get an accurate measurement on there.
Mhm.
What else, do we have to come back for another variance at 120 at that point, if it was?
If we approve it at 130, then you would have to come back for another variance. It gets to be that way after a while. I don't remember what it is, you know?
Yeah.
Well, is it, Joe, how could we word this if we chose to approve it, that it would be between, you know, we'd approve the variance between 120 and 130, and it would be to maintain the proper setback. So if the setback is 10 and that's 130, then it's 130. If
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
you know, but if they get the measurements and it becomes that it's only 5 feet off the line, then it'd be 125, you know, to keep that 10 foot.
Exactly, to maintain that 10 foot.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we just say, based on the confirmation of the survey
Yeah.
verification?
Mhm.
And then put both those numbers in there, Joe? Can we do that?
Say that again?
That we would make the determination based on the confirmation of where the survey stake is, and then we put both of those numbers either order? Can we do that?
We would say that the variance is to be between 120 to 130, depending upon the final survey and the setback of the pump house, ensuring a 10-foot setback.
essentially like you're doing with the septic, right? You're waiting on confirmation for that as well, for the variance too?
I think that would be,
I don't think we have anything for us, that would be the
Okay.
the county, I
County,
think, would.
okay.
Wayne County for just the actual building.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
gotcha.
the septic,
Yeah,
Sumpter doesn't manage the septic approval, so that's all Wayne County.
Okay.
so.
Right.
I think it would be it can be reasonable for the board to pass a motion allowing a variance for a lot width ranging from 120 feet to 130 feet, subject to confirmation of a land survey that can meet, that will result in both parcels meeting the township requirements for land division and the state
Yeah,
requirements.
in the minimum setbacks, right?
Right.
And the minimum setback, so we're allowing them that 10 feet wiggle room, so once they figure it out with their survey, they can work with me and the building department administratively to figure that out.
That'd be perfect, yeah. Thank you.
Is there any more questions?
Not for
Then I'll
me.
make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay. We need a motion to.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. So you can sit down, we won't make you stand there all that time. And,
I'm absolutely glad that you got the Centennial Farm for two reasons. One,
Right.
because I
That's
think it's a fantastic, achievement. Two, it makes it a lot easier to, consider a variance when you have those type of circumstances, because we really don't like to have narrower lots and things. So we have a lot of bowling
Right.
lane lots out there.
right.
Well, if there's no more discussion, then I will, make a motion to approve the variance of a 120 to 130 foot lot width to be verified with the survey to maintain the minimum setbacks from any accessory buildings on the property and meeting the criteria of the Land Division Act. Joe, do you need me to put anything else in that motion?
I don't believe so unless you want to include the Wayne County approval of septic as well.
Yeah, Wayne County, and the Wayne County approval of septic.
Support. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, motion
Aye.
carries. Okay.
That's easy, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
You keep saying that Wayne County approving a septic, what does that mean, if it perks or not?
Yeah, they have to come out per,
Yeah.
and then the setback from the, from property lines and things like that, so.
I would like to thank you guys for letting the Centennial Park go forward the rest of the bridge.
Absolutely,
No,
glad,
it's very,
glad,
very
glad
nice.
to do it. We don't have very many in the township, so we wanna maintain the ones we have, so.
Right.
Well, this spring, we're gonna get this sign up, so
Nice.
everybody will know.
Yeah, very
Perfect.
nice.
I think the state will provide that too, don't they?
And I already have it.
Yeah.
I don't remember the dates or anything, but I've had it for quite a few months now.
Yeah.
No, you had
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll be going up soon.
Yeah, we were doing the same thing. We were looking at a Centennial home for my parents' house up north, but they couldn't get it because of the lot size, so.
Right, well, when my husband and I talked about getting this land, we were in the process of doing some kind of, got sick, and one of the things he did is 10 acres.
Yeah.
And it's-
Well, it's good that you had enough to do that.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you guys so much.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Are we done?
Yes?
Yes?
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Oh, we have new business.
No, we did that.
We did
You
that?
just didn't call it out.
Oh,
I just-
that's good. Keep
you know,
confusing the old person.
I went ahead and made the motion if nobody had questions.
Oh,
Who seconded
okay.
that motion?
Okay.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?